Hello everyone, welcome to today's video on the important articles from the Hindu, October 29th. Let's start with the first article. India will stress climate justice at Global Summit, says Minister. So this is an important article, you can go through it. And also the things that you should learn from this article are know about climate justice, know about the difference between the mitigation and adaptation, transfer of finance and technology from the developed countries to the developing countries. Also, the target of 450 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2030, which is part of NDCs. What are NDCs? Know about that. Also, know about Paris Agreement 2015. The difference or the India's argument not to sign net zero goal at COP26. Why it is asking for CBDR. What is CBDR? Common but differentiated responsibilities. These are the concepts that you can learn or know from this, not from this article, but out of this article, you should a little bit see somewhere else in, I think, Wikipedia or elsewhere and learn these things. Also, you can know about emission trading. So these are the things that you should aim at learning from this article. Then there is this Dharani portal completes 1 year. Just know about that Dharani portal. Then this article, Aryan Khan, two others get bail 25 days after NCB arrest. Not important, need not go through it, but there are two things that are there in this article. That is, one is judicial custody and is police custody. Already last prelims, UPSC asked the difference between the judicial custody and the police custody. This is how the newspaper reading will help you in the prelims. Moving on to the next news item, probing use of word ganja in charts decreed. This is taking the mobile phones of the citizens and searching through their charts is against the right to privacy of the individuals. So it is being decreed by different people. So not very important. Then moving on to the next page, you see this news item. NGRI, GSI join hands for offshore exploration. Go through this article. This is you can connect this article to the paper one resources. New paper one means paper one GS paper one resources topic. You can connect and know about National Geographical Research Institute, Geological Survey of India, etc. And also know about there are some things mentioned as continental shelf, continental rise, convergent margin, etc. Also, you can note down this research vehicle, Samudra Ratnakar, from this news item. Moving on to the next, Optimus Groups completes phase 3 trial of anti-COVID drug. This is a new drug, Molnupiravir. Not very important article, but know about there's every day we are seeing about this new organization called Drug Controller General of India. Know about this, under which ministry it comes. We know about some basic details about this organization, what are its functions, etc. And so other articles are not important from this page. Going on to the next page, even there it's nothing, is there? Here you see this Hamletian dilemma for paddy rats. This article you can connect it to the paper 3 GS mains cropping patterns. Which crops have to be grown at what time and what are the benefits of changing crops regularly. So in that context, you read this news item. Then you see Dharani portal environment clearance to 9E block boost to SCCL plans. Singareni College Company Limited plans. So not important, but know about this just for a general knowledge sake. 9E block is in Odisha. Environment clearances are needed for Singareni College Company Limited to start mining. So these are the basic things that you can know from this article. And then Moving on to the next page, Kerala gears for water release from dam. Already we are seeing this news item from a couple of days. Mullaperiyar dam issue, Idukki reservoir. Just know where UPSC can give you some basic statements like Mullaperiyar dam is located in Idukki district. You may think that UPSC is going factual, but it is when you are looking at news items every day continuously, then these facts become natural to you, and you need not have to put a lot of effort remembering these facts at the last minute before your prelims examination. So this has to be a constant learning. When you do this constant learning, prelims means everything becomes easier for you. Next is this Arumughaswamy Commission of Inquiry. Already previously also this news item has come. This is violation of principles of natural justice. Know about the principles of natural justice. There are some principles of natural justice that we cannot be a judge of our own case, something like that. So know about these. What are the principles of natural justice, and you can use these as a part of your ethics answer, and also you can use the same thing in your essays also. Yeah, in the editorial page, the left columns clear signal. This is about India-China border issue. Go through it, important. And next is climate dividend. Following, not very important if you are focusing on the things that I mentioned just now about climate justice, etc. If you are knowing them, the same things are repeated, but you can go through it once. And this article, perils of ideological certitude, not important. Political, it is in the political nature, like it is talking about Hindutva, BJP, etc. When you have articles related to politics, politicians, political parties, you can just skip it, need not go through it. Then you see getting the focus back on early childhood education. Uh, as such, you need not go through everything that is mentioned in this article, but know about the importance of early childhood education. Go through this first paragraph and the last two paragraphs, and note down the points that are mentioned. And there is something like National Education Policy 2020 is mentioned here. Can be asked in the mains, can be asked in the prelims. So note down what are the basic the few important features of National Education Policy 2020. Paper 2, there is a syllabus or a item related to education. There also they can ask you this. Okay. Next, should NDPS Act be amended? This article, like this, these two boxed in paragraphs, you can go through it, and in for a general knowledge purpose, you can go through it, but not very important. But when this can become important for ethics case study. They'll put you in a position as SP or the police head of the local area, and there is an increased drug peddling. There are it will UPSC will explain you everything about the scenario and etc. Then UPSC will ask you what are the ethical issues involved in the case study. Then what are the options that you have? What is the short term and long term course of action that you have? So when you see such kind of articles, if you think from a civil servant perspective, what you will do to address the problem of drugs in your area, how you will control it, how you will motivate the youth not to um, get addicted to these drugs, etc. So think from ethics perspective, not very important from GS other papers perspective, but from ethics you can go through it. Next, moving on to the page 10, center releases final tranche of GST recompense loans. Go through this article. So what is GST? GST Council, then why center is giving compensation for the revenue loss for the states. You can know all these things from this article. Then the side article, Vinod Rai apologizes to Sanjay Nirupam. Vinod Rai was a former CAG. So from this, when you read this article, you should naturally try to know about CAG. What is the article that is related to CAG? Article 148. What is the relation between CAG and Public Accounts Committee? CAG is called as Friend Philosopher Guide of PAC. Why it is called so? CAG is a constitutional body. What are the protections given to the CAG head to ensure that there is a fair functioning of the CAG? So, etc. You can learn from, not from this article, but you should learn elsewhere while you are reading this article. Then go through this article. Key US lawmakers bat for karza sanctions waiver. So know about what is this karza, countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act, which was passed in 2017. So what are these S-400 missile defense systems? So why US is trying to impose sanctions on the countries which are importing these things from Russia, etc. You can know from this article. Also, there is a this S-400 is a missile defense system of Russia. What is the missile defense system of USA? This is, so know about this third. This was asked in prelims. S-400 was asked in prelims. So in that context, go through that. Pegasus sold only to governments. Israel envoy won't say if India bought it. So you can go through this article. There are some things related to Abraham Accords. What are Abraham Accords, etc. You can learn from this. Also in this S-400 article, there is this thing, that is India has a air base in Tajikistan. So note down this point. Apart from that, yeah, not very important. China rejects, next page. China rejects concerns over border law. India fears that new law will be used as a pretext to formalize the recent military moves. Go through this article, continuing from yesterday. Yeah, you can also go through this article. This can be vulnerable sections, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections. Under that, you can put this paper to governance or social justice. Then the same article related to climate COP26. Just go through it once, and this is kind of revision for the things that we are reading from couple of days. Apart from that, yeah, nothing more important from there. See this article, Eye on Afghanistan, China to build military base in Tajikistan. Already we have just seen that we have air base in Tajikistan. Also, China is trying to build its military base there. So in that context of Central Asian countries, we have a policy called Connect Central Asia. Why that is important? See about this Central Asia, Connect Central Asia policy. Also, there was a question in 2011. This was, list the Central Asian republics and identify those of particular strategic and economic importance to India. Examine the opportunities and bottlenecks in enhancing the relations with these countries. This was asked in 2011 GS. If you can write answer for this, and you can then send it to my telegram on 9966014365, I'll get back to you. So when UPSC asks a question, it will have multiple dimensions. First of all, it is asking to list out the Central Asian republics, and then it is asking to identify among them which have a strategic and economic importance for India's first aspect, second aspect. Then it is asking examine the opportunities, third aspect, and fourth one is bottlenecks in enhancing relations with these countries. So when UPSC asks question, there will be multiple dimensions in the question. You have to identify the different dimensions of the question and accordingly write your answer. So if you want to write answer to this, you can write it and send it to my telegram on this number. So that is why Central Asia is important. Already question was asked previously in the main. So in that context, can be important and increased importance because of the issue that is going on in Afghanistan. Can be asked in 21 means also the importance of Central Asia. US will stand in defense of religious freedom. Go through this article once. Biden proposes $1.85 trillion social security and climate plan. Yeah, not very important, but just to know the issue, go through the first and the last paragraphs. This article, I don't know how to pronounce. Sai confirms US troop presence in Taiwan. Not very important, but just in the context of international relations and for your general understanding of international relations, know read this article. You will know the that US troops are positioned in the Taiwan. Next is US returns 250 antiquities to India. Go through this article. Then the other article is Facebook changes parent company name to Meta. You can also go through this article. And coming to business page, Sensex slumps 1.9%, led by bank stocks as sentiment source. So, in this article, know about what is a Sensex, what is Nifty 50, etc. Why shares are falling, why shares are rising, etc. What is bearish, what is bullish in the context of stock market. No, because already UPSC previously asked, I think there was a question on bearish terminology. Also, yeah, go through these basic things. Then coming to the next article in this page, rupee bonds gain on global price decline. In this article, you should focus on the rupee appreciation and depreciation. Why is rupee appreciates and depreciates? What are the factors that leads to appreciation and depreciation? You regularly UPSC asks these questions in prelims, so focus on that. And also recently also and previously also there was a question, bond versus like government bond yield. What is the concept of bond? Like, so know about these concepts, bond yield, etc. And also there was something mentioned as current account deficit. So what are the elements that are calculated as a part of current account deficit? How it varies? Why we are having current account deficit and not current account surplus? During few quarters of uh, COVID lockdown times, pandemic times, we had current account surplus. So that time we had a current account surplus. Now we are having current account deficit. What is this surplus? What is the deficit? Know about these fundamentals. Yeah. Next, moving on to the other article, sugar estimate paid to 305 lakh tons. Go through this article. There are important things related to ethanol production. We are also trying to mix ethanol with the petrol. So in that context, this is an important article. Go through this. Yeah, coal imports by power units slide to 7-year low. Coal is an important subject for concept or subject for the UPSC prelims. Go through this article. Why we import, from which countries we import, etc. These things you have to find. Then you see 18,300 crore Paytm IPO to open on November 8. So what is an IPO? Find out. What is FPO? Find out. Then the sports columns. Selectively go through these headings. Thank you guys.